Hi everyone, it's the English Simmer here, and yesterday we got a brand new update for The Sims 4, the long-awaited bunk bed update. However, bunk beds weren't the only thing that we got in yesterday's update. Happy spring, Simmers! Hope you're all well wherever you are in the world. I'm doing okay, I've gotta say. Could be worse, could be better, let's be real. Today we bring you a plethora of update and bug fixes. So what's new? We made some updates and improvements to a couple of hair options in Create a Sim. As we all know, this has been a continuous sort of update for inclusivity and diversity within The Sims 4 when it comes to skin tones and fixing darker skin tones and how they look. There is also the console update, so I will be looking over on my PS5. This puffball, the double puff, double afro puff hairstyle that was originally for kids has been updated. It looks so much better, I'll throw it out there. I do still wish that they kind of had an option to do it with baby hairs and without. I know I've watched like Ebonic Sims and she's kind of talked about this as well, how like now that we have baby hairs and we're getting used to seeing that, like it would be nice to see an option with baby hairs and without, just so you had that little bit of flexibility. But this hairstyle looks way better than it ever did. And then there is also a masculine one as well, which is the short afro. This looks 10 times better. And then when it also comes to inclusion, they have added more skin tone diversity when it comes to the posters that we have in the base game. They have changed it, so we have darker skin tones, we have black skin tones included on this like pinup girl poster. We also have the dramatic cooking poster. Then also the football poster, which is great. Love that. Illustrated sports poster. The Teen Idol poster, that only had this one, and now it has 4 different color schemes when it comes to skin tones and also hairstyles. These are all included in the swatches. The Henry Puffer poster, J.K. Rowling could never, let's just throw that one out there, but the Sims team can. Justin fan poster, the Kick It Sally soccer poster. I think this is a great inclusion. I really like it. Like, oh, these are gorgeous. These swatches are absolutely beautiful. I don't think I've ever used this photo set in my life. These ones I'm gonna be using all of the time. Then we also have Portrait of Marriage, which also includes LGBTQ plus representation and also interracial marriages. Like, it's not just like a super whitewashed historical piece anymore. Like, it's modern and it's diverse and it's inclusive, and I love to see that. In addition to these variants, we also edited some of the text to reflect these changes. We hope you love them as much as we do, with some improvements to the visuals of our Sims for Simmers that were affected by improper looking textures. They were god awful. You should see an improvement. I freaking hope so. I'm gonna throw it out there. On the gameplay side, we have made some targeted improvements to a selection of base game personality traits to make them more meaningful in gameplay. This is very vague, and to be honest, I don't really think we're gonna see like an impactful trait update until they also look at whims and the emotion system. I'm gonna throw it out there. I do kind of hope that under the hood, this like forces our Sims to do like actions that actually relate to their traits. I am gonna be trying to experiment with this in this video, but we have improved bookworm, cheerful, clumsy, genius, gloomy, glutton, good, goofball, hates children, hot-headed, jealous, mean, non-committal, neat, and perfectionist. You can now cram twice as many kids, teens, young adults, full-grown adults, and elders. So the only ones who can't use this are obviously babies, because they're tied to their little bassinet, and toddlers. Why share the same horizontal space when you can literally sleep above? Let this be one more way to show whoever gets the lower bunk that you are superior in every way, including elevation. So I tried to go into this like update with enthusiasm. I was like, you know what? 2020, 2021 have been hard years for everyone. And I used to be, I don't know, maybe this is growing up. Maybe I've just become more jaded in my old age. But like, I used to be way more like on a like you know, cup half full kind of optimism, and I used to have a spring in my step. So the other day, I literally sat down with myself and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go into this update with like a glass half full perspective. I'ma be an optimist about this. However, I have to say, I am sorely disappointed by this point right here. For the first iteration of bunk beds, placement of other objects beyond single beds will not be supported. Why? Why are you going to release bunk beds and loft beds? I got really excited about finally, like, having some personality in my Sims kids' bedrooms, like doing something new with these loft beds, creating little dens for them, seeing them interact under these loft beds. I was like, this is a really cute way to like tell a story about my kids. No, you can't use those objects. I'm going to be experimenting with this. I'm going to be experimenting with Moo. From what I've seen of the feedback online so far, you can use like one tile under the bed. You can't use full desks though. So I'm going to be testing that. But honestly, this just kind of annoys me because I'm like, why release them if those items aren't working? Like, just hold it back. Just like hold it back. Wait until you've got it like scrubbed. Get it sorted, make sure those items work underneath a loft bed, and then release it when the product is actually finished. I know this is free. I know I'm probably going to get people saying, why are you complaining? We get this for free. Because it's not finished. It's not a finished product in my eyes if you can't use those things that you put under a bed. You can see the bunk beds. So if we go into build mode, they are just listed like under beds. If you scroll down a little bit, you will be able to find them. So these are the 4 iterations of bunk beds. I'm like 99% sure that this was a Parenthood asset when it was originally released, but now they just look like they've full on taken it out of Parenthood and it's now just classed as base game. Usually I'm one that's like, you know what, I didn't buy Parenthood for this bed specifically. Like even if I did buy it, I wouldn't have paid money for this bed specifically. But it doesn't sit right with me that they have literally just got rid of the Parenthood tag on it altogether and just completely made it base game. I feel like when that's happened in the past, they've kind of taken a mesh and like just recolored it for base game, whereas this is just like outright the bed. You can actually hit the settings and you can choose to have the ladder on the left, you can have it on both of them, or you can have it on the right. So a little bit of customization. And also if you do get the loft bed, you can pretty much drag any single bed under here that you want. Like you can have any single bed like basically snap to the bottom of this, which is quite nice. It gives you a little bit more of like freedom, I guess, so you can like switch up the colors and stuff like that. I have to say, this isn't my favorite bed in the game. I don't really like the color swatches on it. I think they could have added a few more, like maybe just like some, I don't know, like void critter ones and stuff like that. Like this seems like a really big thing for the kids. Let's actually play around with this though. I want to see what we can put under here and what my Sims can actually use if I put stuff under here. So I'm gonna delete that for the time being. Let me go to desks first of all. And Jamal is gonna try and write a children's book. Is this gonna work? It's working for me! I've seen so many people say that a full-size desk won't work. I do have move objects on. There we go. The sofa has been placed. Jamal can sit on it. He's sitting on this end of it. I wonder if he can scooch. Okay, so it looks like the adults can't stand under here. I wonder if, because I'm like trying to get her to come hit the dragon. So it does seem to be like they can't really interact with what's under the ladder. Yeah, she also cannot use the bed. I guess I should have tested that with my couch under there as well. Because they can use the couch, but can they use the bed? No. Okay. So, I mean, nice in a way that they can use the sofa, but not so nice in the fact that they can't actually climb up there and use the bunk bed. Like, these just feel unfinished. Like, I genuinely would have preferred the team to hold off on releasing bunk beds until they had that functionality. Like, the fact that they said first iteration makes me think that they are still hopefully gonna try and work on this and like get the routing to work on them. But like, it just feels weird to me that you would give us a loft bed when like the space underneath it is kind of useless. And the annoying thing is, I think this will actually work with a single desk. So say if we got this single desk here and we keep everything to this side of the bed and we throw down a seat and we throw down a computer on this desk, and if she can use this, okay, so she can play a game. Can she sleep in the bunk bed? So she can do it. You can do it if it's in that one tile. But the annoying thing is, with that one tile, you have to have a single desk, and the only single desk that we have are in paid for DLC. We don't have a single desk in the base game. So for base game players who only have this update and have the bunk beds, then, I mean, you can't really use a desk under here at all unless you have some DLC that has single desks in them. Also, I do have to give a shout out to Kayla for the single desk and for letting me know about that. So thank you, Lil Simsy, for bringing that to my attention. I'm gonna have Jamal come and relax over here, and also Sydney as well. So this is nice, the fact that we can now relax on the bed whilst watching TV. I mean, this is something that I wanted literally from the very beginning of The Sims 4, and I found it wild that we actually never had it. So like, I mean, it's been, what, 7 years? But I'm glad we have this. But they can't really do anything else. Like, in the older games, can they talk even? So they literally can't even talk to each other. Why? Why can't you have a conversation whilst relaxing? He's also got a book in his inventory. But I don't think this has been animated. I don't think they can read books. I think literally the only thing that they can do is watch TV. Yep. I wanted to be happy. Like, I am happy in a way because, like, the pictures and stuff, like, yeah, I'm happy about that inclusion. But, like, literally everything in this update I was excited for. Especially, like, relaxing on the bed. Like, that's such a little treat. But like, what use is it if they can only watch TV? Like, they can't read, they can't talk to one another, like, I'm disappointed. On a more positive note, I guess, the skin tones on console actually do look great. They are 1,000 times better than the last time I played on console. I'll do like a comparison. This skin was actually, I'm fairly sure it was this dude right here, was the one who basically had a green tip of his nose. There is still like a slightly different color. Like, my YouTube compression isn't really gonna be able to pick it up at all. And this was the dude that like had like greens on his cheekbones and also like 5 different colors on his skin tones. I'll give the team this one. Like, skin tones on The Sims 4 on console actually does look a lot better. Genuinely cannot fault this. They look really good. They definitely look like the skin tones that they are meant to resemble, and there's not half as much pixelation or discoloration. The big problem was the discoloration, and there is no discoloration. Before I round up with my thoughts and feelings on this specific patch update, there was actually a few little pesky leaks that came out of the live stream, so shout out to Sims community. The one and only Jovan has helped me out with this one. The Sims 4 new trait slot in Create Sim and new hair colours are coming. I don't think they were meant to let this slip. SimGuru Azure and SimGuru Red got to talk talk more about their latest update for The Sims 4, including bunk beds, some new hairstyle updates, and a little bit more from today. However, they seem to have teased something else. I have to say, I don't know if this is a trait slot. Or if it is a trait slot, because to me, this looks like a secondary aspiration, because it's sitting on the aspiration where the other aspiration is. It's not outlined in yellow or gold, as the usual aspirations are, but, like, a second aspiration really wouldn't make sense in The Sims 4, because, like, technically you can have as many aspirations as you want, unless it, like, unlocks a second bonus trait. But I think if it were a trait slot, wouldn't it just be up here? Like, wouldn't it just be honeycombed onto the traits that we already have? This, to me, personally, doesn't feel like a trait slot, but let me know what you all think about this. I just think the placement is weird if it's a fourth trait slot. I feel like it could either be something brand new or a secondary aspiration or like one overarching trait. I'm really not too sure. It's just the placement that bugs me a little bit about this. However, that's not all. The two sim gurus also seem to have shown some new hair color options for all hairstyles, which you can check out down below. There are new options for silver-ish tones, blonde tones, and some others that you can spot. There is actually a true black, what looks to be a true black. So we have this one right here. I think this is the regular black. It's what's on the sim right now. It's kind of got those like bluish undertones to them, whereas this one is brand new, so hopefully that means we're getting a true black in the future. Definitely looks like we're getting a few more lighter color browns, then also like a more, is that a more natural like ginger, or is it not? The gingers might be the same because we have the red, the like dark ginger and the light ginger. Then we have some what looks like dirty blondes and like cooler tone blondes. And then also, like they said, like a silver and like platinum sort of cool blonde tones. So definitely looks like we're getting a few more. Maybe this, they might have done this on like an early build, so it might be in testing and stuff like that. So this isn't confirmed. It's just they let it slip, I think, a little bit too early. So there we have it. There's the update. I'm fairly sure you all know how I feel about it, depending on how I reacted in the video live looking at this update. I'm a really big fan of the posters. I think the inclusion was desperately needed, and I very much appreciate that. Skin tones look incredible on the consoles now, so very happy for the console players that there's finally been a fix on that. And also the hairstyles look great. I am not gonna like shit on any of those things. I think they're incredible, very much needed, and done very, very well for a free update. Loft beds, I genuinely think they could have just been like, look, loft beds aren't working the way that we intended them to. There's a lot of bugs. We're gonna hold off on releasing them. Technically, they had only really teased the bunk beds. So like if they had just released the 2 bunks and just like the bed frames, I personally prefer it when a games developer and publisher can be like, look, this isn't working the way that we intended it to. We're gonna hold off on releasing it until we have these creases ironed out. I would have preferred that. I would have waited for the loft beds until I knew that they were gonna work the way loft beds should really work. And the same goes for relaxing on the bed. It feels like an unfinished product. I know we're getting it for free, but to me, it just doesn't feel finished. The only thing that our Sims can do is watch TV. You can't like cuddle with your partner. You can't read a book. Like, reading a book is very relaxing, but no, you can't do it. Social interactions, like, I would have preferred to like have my sim turn their head and be able to talk to the person relaxing next to them over them being able to watch TV. Honestly, I'm kind of sad that we didn't get the little like fitness pack with the little step watcher now, because apparently if my Sims want to talk to each other, they have to stand up and move around the room. It just feels weird and unfinished, and I'm not a fan of it. I would have just preferred them to hold those back and been like, look, they're not working how we want them to, and the first iteration of the bunk beds just really goes along with that. I feel like it says that they're unfinished, like, hey, this isn't working the way that we wanted it to, but we've released it anyway, so have fun maybe playing around with it with cheats if you can get it to work. It just feels a little bit strange to me, but I do think this is a step in the right direction, especially with the hair colors as well, like the true blacks and stuff. Like, I'm glad that inclusion is getting that forefront in the updates right now, because I think we've been missing it for so many years. So I'm really, really glad about that. It's just some of these things don't really hit the spot for me. But let me know how you feel about this update. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your feedback. Let's get a little discussion going down in the comment section. I did want to come into this really positive, and I do think there are some outstanding things in this update. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too complainy for you all, and I will speak to you all in my next one, which was meant to be building cute little loft spaces for my kids under their loft beds. Maybe it'll still happen, who knows. I might just have to play test it a little bit more than I was intending to, but we'll see what gets uploaded on Friday. I appreciate you all so much, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.